Hello and welcome to day number 14 of the 30-day mental diet. I am Pastor Jeffries. I'm the pastor of the Philadelphia Church of Universal Brotherhood, located at 530 Eastern Parkway, Brooklyn, New York. And I'm happy to be with you today. And I'm glad that you've taken some time to be with us. Today, we're just going to discuss life owes you nothing. And we're going to go right into our discussion. And it's a very important discussion. And it's one that can be controversial because some of the things that we'll be discussing you might have heard for the first time. If this is your first time being with us, you're at the right place at the right time, and we're going to move right along. We're going to begin by reading the introduction, and then we're going to get right into our lesson, our study. Okay, the cause of a great many of trouble people encounter rests in the fact that they seem to have developed a sort of lethargy, which demands that everything be brought to them on a silver platter without their having to do anything about it. This is a nice idea if it would work, but it doesn't, for it overlooks the fact that the basic and fundamental to all existence is activity and creativity. If this dictum is ignored, living is deprived of all meaning. Now, Willis Kennard uh, opens up and he gives us information that we need to take hold of and realize. By the way, we're studying from the 30-day mental diet by Willis Kennard. I hope by now you have a book. If you don't have a book, you can pick one up so that you can follow us as we do this discussion. But more importantly, this book is major and will change your life around. It's one that you should have, one that you should mark up, one that you should uh, point out and really digest the diet and the back of each lesson, the last part of each lesson. I encourage you to get the book. Moving right along, I want to bring out that life owes you nothing, and that's what Willis Kennard is saying. Uh, because everything that you need for your life and fulfillment has already been given to you. And if you really understand that, you will know that you owe life. Life doesn't owe you. But we're going to get into it. Let's move right along. Life fundamentally to all existence. What is fundamental to all existence is activity and creativity. Activity and creativity. We're going to understand that you have to be active and you have to be creative. You have the ability to be creative because God gave you that ability. You were made and he breathed himself into you, and you are part and parcel of the one mind. You are the one who is withholding yourself from life. If you feel that life owes you something, you owe life owes you nothing, but you are eternally in debt to life. You're the one that is withholding yourself from life if you feel that life owes you something. I want to get that across because it's fundamental and I want you to understand that. You can create anything you want to occur in your life, you have the ability to create it. But first, you must consciously accept that you are the creator in your life. You must think in an active, creative manner and accept that you are the creator in your life, and you are able to create in your life because God created you. The That one mind, the universal mind, created you in his image and likeness. I try to remind you of that almost in every lesson, because it was fundamental in day one and day two. And where you are is the center of the universe. Why? Because you have that spark of divinity. You're made in the image and likeness of the creator himself. He made you just like he is made. Just like who he is and how he is, you're made in the same way. You have greatness on the inside of you, and he has really given you and created everything that you will ever need for your wealth, for your fulfillment, for your ability to create. It was all put here for you, and then you were put down here on earth to rule and reign in his likeness, in his image. And then he gave you free will. I want you to understand this. I'm trying to break this down in a way that you can remember and that you can accept. I want you to understand it and accept it. You must think in an active, creative manner and accept that you are the creator in your life, and you are able to create in your life because that's the way you were made. The Bible puts it like this. The good book has a way of putting things where you know it. And this is in the New Testament. It brings out, it says, every good and every perfect gift is from above and comes down from the Father of light. That's the infinite mind, or the one mind, the creator, or God, with whom, it goes on to say, with whom there is no variation or shadow of turning. Of his own will, get this now, of his own will, of the creator's own will, he brought us forth by the word of his truth, that we might be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. He brought us forth. He created us by his word, by the word of truth. Remember, I keep telling you, and we keep reinforcing, that you create with your words and you create with your thoughts. That's how the creator did it. And since you made just like him and you emulate him, we are to emulate him. He made you just like himself. So since he created with his word and with his thought, that's the same way you create, with your words and with your thoughts. You see, when you decree a thing, it shall be established unto you because you decreed it. Who decrees things? Kings and noblemen and men of importance. They create with their words and they create with their thoughts the same way you do. Now, in the Old Testament, it says, but who am I and what is my people that we should be able to offer so willingly to you? For all things come of you. All things come of you, O Lord, and from thine own have we given thee. In other words, he supplied everything and we give back. He gave us gifts, every good and perfect gift that he gave us, we give back to him, because it is you receive proportionately in the same way that you give. When you give a lot, you're going to receive a lot. But that's the cycle. First you give, and then you receive. And we need to understand that. My thoughts are causative. Remember, we talked about cause and effect, and we have demonstrated and explained that the first cause is always consciousness. It's always having to do with your mind. You create with your thoughts. That's first cause. My thoughts and acts are causative factors to which the universe must respond with corresponding effects. Any way that I act, there is going to be a reaction. And we need to understand that consciousness is always first cause. And the action you take brings an effect that will correspond to the causative action. You know, when I was maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, I was fixing a room in my house, and I got a contractor that came in, and he gave me a price for what I wanted done. And then there were little things that might have, like I say, paint this wall, and he just wanted to paint the wall, but he didn't want to spackle it, so the hole would still be in the wall. So I said to him, "Oh, you're not going to spackle the wall?" He said, "Oh no, you have to put something on it." In other words, he wanted more pay for him to do the job correctly. You got to put something on it. Well, uh, I gave him what it was that I thought he should have, and I let him finish the job. But I never brought him back, because if you're going to do something, everybody knows that when you're painting a wall, well, of course, you got to spackle it first and sand it and so forth. This guy wanted me to put something on it, like he said. Well, he never came back in my house to do anything, because he didn't do the best that he could. He didn't do the job the way that he was supposed to. He was looking for something when he wasn't giving all that he was supposed to. He was required to do that, but he didn't do it. What am I saying? When you live your life, you live it to the fullest. You have a gift, and you need to take that gift and give it away. So you need to let others thrive and let others benefit from the gift that you receive. Why? Because when you give, you receive. It's the cycle. It's the way life goes, and a lot of people realize it, but there are so many people that don't. And I just want to enlighten you about that. Let's go back to the book. Let's go back to the book. The world does not owe you a living, it says. Do do you feel that the world owes you a living? That life should provide you with all your desires and needs without you doing anything about it? The truth of the matter is that all you could possibly need has already been provided for you. There is no reason for any person to sit back and complain that the world has done him wrong, or has held the things that make living worthwhile. As long as you acknowledge, moving on, by the way, I'm on page 68. As long as you acknowledge that the mind in back of the universe is intelligent, and within it rests the possibility of all good things. Remember, I told you, every good and perfect gift comes down from above. Then you can realize that everything has already been given you, is ever accessible to you. You have access to everything you need through that one mind. The problem is, to what degree and extent are you able to recognize and accept this? You have to receive this and understand it. Now, I'm on the paragraph of your great debt. page 69 of the 30-day mental diet. And I'm going to jump down to the middle paragraph in the interest of time. It says, you are only able to receive to the extent which you are able to give. To start with, you're alive and an expression of the one life. I just told you, you're made in his image and likeness. To the extent that you're able to embody and express what you feel must be its fundamental nature. To the extent that you're able to experience more of it. Life has been given to you. Now it's up to you to do something with it. Now, that he goes on to say, life is good, creative, dynamic, purposeful, and joyous. And you have to express these qualities. He's saying these qualities have to flow through you, and we have to see it, and you have to give it to the world. You got a gift, you have to give it away. When you give it away, you're going to get more. Continuous conflict is the paragraph right underneath it on page 69. It says, the battle you must wage is not with the world. The argument you must win is not with God or the Creator or the infinite spirit, but with yourself. In many respects, you are your own worst enemy. What does he mean like that? When your thoughts, what do you mean? What does he mean when he says you're your worst? In many ways, you are your own worst enemy. It says, when your thoughts and acts are constructive, then you will find that you already have what you once thought was owed to you. When your thoughts are constructive and you act on them in a constructive way, then all conflict and struggle is dissolved. God is not impartial. He will give you exactly what he'll give anybody else that works the law, that operates within that spirit, the law of spirit, within the when you operate within the law of compensation. When you give, you get. Okay, you must make a down payment on your debt and start to eliminate the feeling that life owes you something. By this simple procedure, stop feeling sorry for yourself and begin to use your God-given ability to think in a constructive manner. Remember, you're made to think constructively, and you have that ability. So you need to exercise it and believe in yourself. God is good, and he has given you all that you need. He doesn't hold back. You have access to all, and that's what you need to understand. And you need to operate in the fact that, and in the truth that you create with your words and with your thoughts, and get to it. Giving versus gimme. This is another part that I want to highlight. In the middle of that paragraph on page 70, it says, the world can supply you with abundant living, but not on the basis that the world owes you. You must become an active participant in life, contributing the most that you have in the best manner. In other words, you got the gift, give it away. Let's be good to somebody else. Share it with somebody else so that you will always be in the position that you have given. And then the universe owes you, and you will be a recipient. Now, in the interest of time, I want to go straight to the diet, because the diet is um, very expressive and instructive of what you have to do, what I would like you to concentrate on, what I would like you to ingest, if you will. I want you to take it in, ingest it. I want you to digest it and understand it. We're going to read in the first person. And if you're listening, I want you to listen in the first person. Okay? All that is good, fine, and wonderful in my world is mine to have and enjoy. Life withholds nothing from me. Life owes me nothing. In this knowledge and awareness, I redirect and repattern my thinking so that I discover new abilities within myself and I am guided into new ways and means of expressing them. The more I wake to the inner urge of life to creatively express itself through what I am, the more I am surrounded with all that contributes to a richer experience of living. My thoughts and acts are causative factors to which the universe must respond with corresponding effects. I am responsible for my experience, and I now affirm that infinite mind acting in and as my mind directs, guides, and stimulates my thought so that it becomes creative in the best possible manner for the establishing in my life of the greatest possible good. I no longer wait for God to give me that which I may need, for I know that all that there is has already been given. I want to read that again. I no longer wait for God to give me that which I may need, for I know that all that there is has already been given. I now consciously acknowledge the gift and accept it as mine. My thoughts and actions express my belief, and as I give of myself, I am abundantly rewarded. My thoughts and actions express my belief, and as I give of myself to life, I am abundantly rewarded. The capsule supplement, which I want us to remember, says, life becomes to me what I am to it. Today, my every thought and act is my givingness to the world of my highest concept of what I believe God is, and the lawful creative activity of God returns to me in tangible form. The good I have affirmed is mine. I want you to think about that. I want you to read that. I want you to read this in the morning and in the evening, at least twice a day. More if you have a chance. But I also want to invite you to be with us on our Zoom and our Facebook Live broadcast every Saturday. You can contact us. I'm going to leave the information below. And if this talk is doing anything in your life, we want to hear from you. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and then share it. Until the next time we meet, which will be tomorrow, keep your head up and remember that the best is yet to come. God bless you and have a great day.